guys, welcome. Mary here, and I'm back with an interesting topic for today. So as you can see, I dressed up because I want to match with our topic for today. It's about the Indian culture and traditions that shocked and amazes me. So this is how actually a common Indian woman, this is how they wear it. So this is how it looks like. This topic would be really interesting for those who wanted to reside in India. You know, yung mga Filipina na gusto manirahan dito sa India at may partner dito sa India na interesado kung ano ba yung differences, ang mga tradisyon ng mga Indian. So, just to know more about them. The list that I have here is quite long. It's 27, and these are just the things that I can think of. And remember that these were the things that I observed and noticed while I was staying here in India. I will be telling my stories and my experiences. I may have perceived a different thing about it, so just kindly comment it below so I may be corrected about it. So let's start off first with they have a long list of family relatives. What I mean by this is they are really close with their family relatives. Well, yeah, we Filipinos are also close with our relatives, but we are only close with our direct relatives, such as the children of our aunties and uncles, like our cousins, first cousins, or till their second cousins, but not much till, you know, the fifth cousins, seventh cousins, like that. But there are people there in the Philippines that know that far. But it's really different here in India. Like, they know every single relative that they have. They know the 2 daughters and 3 sons of their uncle's cousin's son. Like that. That's how much it is. Their family reaches to multiple ladders of relationships. One time when I attended an engagement, like my husband introduced me to multiple peoples, and I noticed that my husband has really a hard time remembering the names of their title, family title, you know, like if they are uncle or he doesn't know also, but they are their relative, but it's really a long way of relative, really extended, like so far. They are like the sons of his grandfather's cousins, like that, you know, it's really far. So like it goes a long way. That's why my husband often jokes around when we're there in the village. When we walk, we might, you know, encounter some of the relative on the way, because everyone knows everyone, like that. And they just don't know everyone. They communicate and they go, there's some event in that house, everyone goes there and things like that. So that's how they are. And I have to mention also that when you attend to their wedding, there would be a lot of people there, like different kinds of relatives, friends, relatives of their friends, of the groom and bride, and also even, you know, the groom and bride did not know all these people, they still go to the wedding, because the minimum guest that they will have in a wedding is like 700. They invite a lot of people. That's why when you attend to an Indian wedding, it would be really a big occasion. Like the whole community is there. You know, they will go eat there and things like that. Some of them are their relatives, lots of them. Like, that's how big it is. Their family is really big and they know all of them. They communicate. So next is they mostly have joint families. There could be a lot of reasons why they do this. Almost all of Indians' family son doesn't want to get separated from their parents. I see families that live in the same households, which consists of 2 to 4 sons with their wives and their children living together, not to mention with their parents. For example, if the parents have 2 sons and they both get married, and they will have 2 children each, all of them will live together in the same household. There will be a total of 10 members in the house, not to mention also with their uncle might also live there. So that's how it works here. Like, so they live together. I asked my husband why that is. Like, he said, well, it's nice, the house is happy. You guys can talk with each other, because if the couple is alone, it would be boring. And here, the woman will have help with the chores, and so it's better like that. It's really different in the Philippines because it's really encouraging in the Philippines. Like when you get married, first you have to build your own house to get separated from your parents. But that kind of, setup is really different now because I see a lot of people living in the same roof as their parents also. So it depends, like that. They do an arranged marriage. Like when the son and daughter of the family reach a certain age, the parents will search for a partner for them. The parents will ask their friends, their relatives, or their neighbors if they know someone who can be a good match to their sons or daughters. Like that's how it happens, right? And the parents even go to the priest to recommend some of the partner for them. Papakita nila yung mga pictures, tapos they'll ask for the qualification, tapos if they found someone that matches to their daughters or their sons, they will meet together, tapos magdi-discuss sila kung ano ba yung characteristic ng lalaki, kung okay ba, it's like an interview or something like that. And they also follow this, they have something like the priest will tell if two of them are a match together, the priest will ask 36 things, and if they matches a certain amount of number, then they can be wed together. The higher the number, the better is the match. And then in this case also, the girl's family will upfrontly said like how much dowry, this is the much dowry that we can afford or things like that. So it's mostly the parents who do the talking when it comes to arranged marriage, because they'll see if the girl or the guy is within their expectations of also. Like dowry. The next is the dowry. The girl's family gives dowry to the guy's family. The amount of dowry varies from how well the guy is. It's kind of really like a price tag joke. Sorry for the term. But they weigh how the guy is, the kind of job that he has, kung ano yung ang reputation nila, yung image, okay ba? Tapos, basically, how well he is. And if both sides like each other, then the girl's family will try its best to fulfill the wishes of the guy's family. Complicated talaga yung dowry system nila kasi iba-iba naman kasi yung perception ng tao dito kung ano yung dowry. Other people would refer it as a gift. The gift of the girl's family to the guy's family, because the guy family will absorb the girl's needs from now on. All of the girl's needs and things, the guys will take care of it. So the girl's family is sending their daughter to that family, and they are giving the dowry as a gift, like that kind of things. But other people, it's think like this. The guy is the one who is taking care of the venue during the wedding, and it's really quite costly, the arrangement of the wedding, like that kind of stage. So it's on the guy's family. So during the wedding it's kind of of the same expenses. The girl will give the dowry and the guy will take care of the things during the wedding, the arrangement, the venue, the food, and things like that. It's kind of the same. This is how it should be, but people exploit this tradition, the system, and it sounded more of a negative side. So we cannot really avoid the fact that when we hear arranged marriage, it's always on bragging how much dowry a guy will take, right? So it's really on the mindset of the people. But anyway, the girl's family gives dowry to the guy's family. It's like that. So next is they have lots of festivals in a year. So the major festival that they have in a year is 20. As India is a secular country, so each religion and community has its own festival. For example, Christians celebrate Christmas and Black Friday. Muslims celebrate Eid, and Hindu celebrates Diwali, Raksha Bandhan, and many more. So I cannot remember the name of the festivals, but yeah, they do celebrate a lot of festivals in a year. Like fasting. Fasting is another form of festival for them, and they celebrate it. Next is the wife cannot mention or speak the husband's name. A traditional wife cannot speak or mention the name of her husband or with anyone who is older than her. Like, for example, my mom-in-law never speaks the name of my dad-in-law. Like, she just call him by the relationship title. For example, like, honey. Like in English, it would be you're calling your husband honey, or like that kind. They have their own also title. I don't know what this is, sorry. But my mom-in-law never speaks the name of my dad-in-law. She calls him by my husband's name. I don't know why that is, but yeah, they cannot mention the name of anyone older than them, like traditional women, but the modern women, they don't really follow it now, I guess. Yeah, it's next is the wife does a lot of fasting for the wellness of the family and for the husband. I noticed that the women in India do a lot of fasting. The major event of fasting that at least my mom-in-law does is in every 6 months for 9 days. At that time, she cannot eat a certain kind of food. She can only eat selected foods such as peanuts, potatoes, and 3 other things. I don't know what they are. And then also she can eat fruits. Even the type of salt that she uses is really different from the normal salt that we usually use. The women also have this famous festival in which they fast for 1 day. Like, they don't eat anything and they don't drink anything. And in the night, they go to the rooftop to see the moon. And then they will do their prayer there and anything. And after that, they can eat and drink now. So imagine they cannot eat and drink for 1 day, whole day. They do this because they believe that it's a prayer to God, how persevere you are, how far you are willing to go for your family, something like that. I think most of the recognition of the family comes from the name of the head of the family. One thing na naobserbahan ko dito sa India is like when they talk at each other, they will always mention the name of the head of a family. Say for example, if the name of the father is Rav and the name of the son is Ishan, and Ishan passed the board exam, like he became engineer now or something like that. So they won't say it like this na, oh, nakapasa na pala si Ishan, parang ganon. They don't talk like that. They will talk like this. Alam mo ba yung anak ni Arav? Nakapasa na engineer na. Parang it's so weird. They don't mention the name of the person, the son of the daughter who achieves some kind of recognition or deserve them, but they always mention the name of the head of the family. And if the son or daughter do a bad thing, it would also reflect to the head of the family. Even though the head of the family didn't do anything, they will mention it all throughout the conversation. So all of the recognition comes from the head of the family. Next is one thing that is really weird for me. The traditional families don't use a chopping board. It's really funny because when I came here to India, like I cannot find a chopping board at all. It turns out that the traditional families don't use, because my mom and dad-in-laws are really kind of traditional, so they don't use the chopping board at all. Which goes to the next list that I have is they use a different kind of knife that is called Hasua. This is what a Hasua looks like, and they also use this knife for bigger cuts. Yeah, when I came here to India, the first thing that I bought is the chopping board and the knife. They don't use the Western type or the knife that we usually have. So the next is their food are colorful. They have lots of spices, homemade and combinations of spices. all of us, I think we can all agree that the Indian foods are really colorful. You see it in all the graphics in social medias, you will see that their foods are colorful. The colors come from common household spices. The common spices that they have in every household, it's like the turmeric powder, the red chili powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, cumin powder, and garam masala. These are the things that is common. Cinnamon powder also, which is really common. And they also have a lot of version of their spices. They also have the family's homemade version of garam masala. There's also the general version in which you can buy it from the store, and they also have masalas for specific dishes. Say for example, there's ever famous dish of Indian biryani. They have the masala for biryani. Like there's a packet for biryani masala, there's a packet for pani puri masala. Pani puri is also an ever famous delicacy here in Mumbai. They said that all the girls love it. There's also the chaat masala, and then the tikka masala, and many more. Masala is called like a combination of spices. Yes. I mean, there's always a gravy or wet food in their meals. They cannot eat dry foods in meals. It's weird for them. In my house, whenever we eat lunch or dinner, there's always a gravy. Tayong mga Pinoy is we can just eat with fried chicken and then rice. That's all. It's dried, right? But for them, they cannot eat it like that. It's weird for them. There should be some wet things in their meal, like a gravy, a curry. Maybe in some household they can eat it, but here in my family they cannot. And my husband said, yeah, they don't eat it like that. Though they also have their dry dishes like pakawari, you fry it, put with flour and things like that, you fry it. But that is mostly for snacks. But there still needs to be a gravy, okay, when they eat the meal. So that's how it is. So next is, you cannot see a woman wearing a sleeveless, knee-length or shorts in the village. Yeah, this is true because when I went to my husband's village, I don't see any woman wearing shorts or even knee-length, 1 or 2 inches length below the knee. Those kind of clothes, I don't see it. They are fully covered. Even if the weather is hot, they are still fully covered. The rural areas in India are highly conservative than those in the city. Though in the city, you don't see many women wearing short, but you can still see them. Like for example, in the malls or highly commercialized area. But on the village and things like that, you are fully covered. So when I came there, I really have to wear also clothes like these, like long clothes like these, because it's weird na. Like, ikaw lang yung magsusuot ng below the knee kind of clothes and people are staring at you, so it's weird. So that. Next is, they always offer great hospitality to their guests. This is one of the things that I love about India. Whenever a guest comes to their house, they always treat them with a high regard. Like, they always bring out sweets and water. My husband said that they refer to their guests as gods by referencing the phrase Atiti Devo Bhava. Their reference.
Atiti Devo Bhava.
Yeah, that.
Bhava. Just say Bhava. Atiti Devo Bhava.
Atiti Devo Bhava.
Yeah.
Like that. So when you visit an Indian family household, you can expect a nice treatment from them. Even if the house is poor, they always try their best to give you comfort and good food. I had an experience in the village of my mom-in-law. Even if the family is not really that well off and just, they're just getting by in life, the family tried their best to cook the nice food for us. Like, they prepared the favorite food of my husband, and they even asked what is my favorite food, and they prepared it. They always use the good crop that they have, high quality crops and milk, and they never asked something in return. Like, that is what I love the most. They are so kind and ever so grateful about the things that they have. So these are the type of people that I really would love to help in the future. They get satisfied, they don't complain whatever you give to them, which is for me a really nice attitude to have. So next is every Hindu household has a small temple inside, and every household has a family god or goddess that looks after the whole family tree. According to my husband, they have a specific goddess that looks after their family. It's the goddess that looks after the whole family tree for multiple generations. Other houses have their own god and goddess also that looks after them. That is why when you visit a Hindu house, you will always find a small temple inside. Whenever they pray, they always take or mention the name of their god or goddess before they mention other gods and goddesses. We all know that they have lots of gods and goddesses, right? The Hindu. So I have to mention also that any of the family members of the family pray every day. In my family, my mom-in-law, my dad-in-law, my husband, my brother-in-law, they all pray every day to that temple. And it depends on the household though, like sometimes only one member of the family prays every day. Sometimes like all of them pray. After taking a bath, they pray like that. In the stores also here in India, they all have temples, also small temples inside of the stores. This is for good fortune, and success in business, So next is the woman in every family holds a certain amount of jewelry. Gold jewelry. I noticed that there are lots of gold jewelry shops here in India. Here in Mumbai, you'll see multiple shops of gold jewelry in a 1 kilometer vicinity. This is also one of the cultures in India in which they always give the woman a piece of gold when there's an occasion, right? So, for example, if she's married, each family relative or even a friend's family will give her a piece of gold jewelry such as earrings, rings, or gold chains. And if she gets pregnant, she will also receive gold jewelry as a gift. This is because the women in India are considered Lakshmi. Lakshmi is one of the popular goddesses in Hindu mythology and is known for the goddess of wealth and purity. So that's why when there's a big occasion, the family always gives the woman or the daughter of the house a piece of gold or money because she's the Lakshmi, like a form of wealth in the house. So next is Indian family tends to save money for big events like weddings, education, or old age. Yeah, this is like a common sense for each family. You have to save money for big occasions, right? But it's really unlike us Filipino that, at least for me, I think we don't really save that much or things like that. And mga Pinoy, meron din naman mga pamilya na nagsisave talaga. Pero yung iba parang nag-get by lang talaga. Like, they have work and then things like that. But here, they always put a big importance on saving money. They tend to save money since their daughter is still small in preparation for her wedding in the future. That's how they are. Like, if you have 2 daughters, you have to work your ass off as a parent to save for your daughter's wedding in the future. So that's how they do it. And also, the education and expenses are also saved beforehand, and they have already saved and plans of what they're going to do in old age. They already have a separate plan for themselves, and they already saved up money for themselves. Even if the family is not that well off, they will somehow or the other save up money for themselves. Yung akala mong walang mabili na bagong damit or gamit, pero may mga na-save up yun. Like, may mga naipon sila. Low-key lang talaga. Low-key lang talaga sila. Pero yun, importante talaga sa kanila yung mag-save ng money for the future. Like that. Next is India is a secular country where you'll find every religion living together cohesively. There are lots of religions in India, with Hinduism at the top spot, and aside from Hinduism, there's Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, and many other affiliations. So, like, ang daming relihiyon dito sa India. Next is the wide variety of clothing with beautiful designs and different color variation. I know we can all agree that the clothing in India is really colorful, vibrant, and has a variety of artsy designs. Like this kind of clothing is really pretty, and the designs also like this. So anyway, what I love about it are the intricate designs they make on their clothing. They look pleasing and elegant. They are also comfortable to wear. Like, it's loose, and then it's nice. They have the sari, in which most of the traditional married women wear, and kurtis and salwar, where young unmarried women wears. There's a palazzo and lehenga, which are worn for occasion. Well, it really depends on them. Like, they also have scarves and lots of variety of long clothing. I'm really not sure about the name of it, so if I said it differently, just correct me in the comment section, okay? But one thing that I can tell you is the design of their clothing are really beautiful, and it's so colorful, vibrant, and you can really feel the soul of their tradition in their clothing. There is also modern clothing, but you can still tell that there are Indian clothing, right? You know what I mean, right? Like that. So next is varieties of temples and beautiful structural designs. The temples are clean and have a long history. The clothing is one thing, but the temples are also beautiful. It's uniformly structured. It's just satisfying to watch it. Like, the temples have intricate designs, and the people in the past are really artistic, you know that? Like, imagine they made these temples with just limited materials, and also they last long. They also have a temple that goes a long way back, 635 CE. Like that, and it's still standing. Like, that's how they maintain their temple. They also have other temples that are old and have a long history and interesting stories about them. But what I love the most about it are the designs, angles, and the placement of each structures. They are also maintained and clean. And if you ever wanted to go inside of the Hindu temple, it is a custom there that you shouldn't bring your shoe or footwear inside. Like, you have to leave your footwear outside, and then you walked in the temple barefoot. So next is, in Hinduism, cows are considered sacred animals. I think everyone knows that the cows in India are considered sacred. In Hindu tradition, cows are revered as a mother goddess. You know, if the cow crosses the roads, everyone stops and waits for them to completely finish their crossing. Like, it's really funny because when there's an accident, say for example there's a car crash, everyone just go past by it because, you know, traffic, and then they're late for their work, that they just go at the side near the gutter. They just go there because they're late for their work and things like that. But when a cow crosses the road, everyone stops. No one overtakes it. No one goes from here and there like that. So that's how sacred cows are. And you will see a lot of cows here in India. Even in the city, you will see there at the side of the road, people are feeding them, and you will see them also in some of the temples. So next is, they have a variety of stories depicting gods. They said some stories happened in real life in the past. Another interesting facts about India is their long list of mythology story. Like, they have legends and real life stories. What I noticed is most of the stories that they have always depicted how to deal the problems in real life. Like, for example, if you have a problem with your family or friends, or having trouble of choosing or what to do with money and many more, like, it's all written in the scriptures. They have also the book, and I cannot remember the name of the book, but my husband told me about it. So they also have lots of stories pertaining to the life of their gods and goddesses, their origins, and how they became a god, and the stuff that they did on earth. Like, if you are a literature enthusiast, then studying India's mythology would be really interesting for you. So next is Indians are less likely to use spoons and forks. They enjoy their food with their bare hands. I noticed that most of the time, Indians use their hands when they eat. We Filipinos also eat with our hands, right? But it's only when we are inside of our house, we are comfortable in our house. But here it's different. Even in restaurant, people still use their hands. This is because of the type of food that they have. They have roti or naan, in which they rip it with their hands and then eat it with the gravy or things and then eat it. So you use your hand with that. I think most of us can agree that eating by hand is more enjoyable and comfortable. Even some of us Pinoys love to eat by hand. Like, every state and religion has its own signature dish. This is actually a fact that every state and religion in India has its own signature dish or dishes. Like, for example, there's a menu called Maharashtrian dish, Punjabi dish, Gujarat dish, Bengal, and many more. Also, when you visit another state, you'll notice that the way they cook things differ from other states. What I mean by this is that there are some parts in India that uses coconut oil for their dishes. There are other parts of India that uses sesame oil or mustard oil, and other parts uses palm oil or sunflower oil or the common vegetable oils and things like that. And we all know that the types of oil that you use affects the taste of your food. There are also parts of India that uses a lot of spices, like a lot of cumin powder, and they also use a lot of chilies. Like, their tastes are more on the spicy side. If the common Indian household uses 3 to 4 green chilies, there are other states that uses 6 to 8 green chilies, something like that. So next is, without chai, Indians cannot function. This is really true because Indians really drink a lot of chai. I know every Indian can agree on this. Chai is an Indian tea. It has tea leaves, milk, cardamom, ginger, and many spices. It depends how a household makes it. There's a different version for it, but the common ingredients for the chai are the tea leaves, milk, sugar, and ginger, cardamom, cinnamon. Before they go to work, they drink the chai, and in the afternoon, they also drink the chai, like during the break. Almost all Indians, I think, drink it. Like, because it's a common routine of a wife or a mother to make a chai every morning and in the afternoon. Like, even a teenager or a 9-year-old drinks it. Everyone in the family drinks it, so it's like a day-to-day routine. It's like it's embedded on their blood. Like, I also drink chai. Like, it's, I cannot go on in a day without chai anymore. Though I only drink chai once in a day, like in the afternoon. One time I stopped drinking the chai, I had a sore throat. So once you started it, you cannot stop it, like that. So their movies are always accompanied by songs and dance with the lead actor and actresses. The lead actor and actress will always have dancing screen time on it. Well, that makes it really unique, the movies in India. Next is, finally, this is the last 27. Indians are mostly vegetarians. Other families only eat on weekends, like Sunday. Yeah, this is true. Like, most of them prefer, vegetable dishes. Like, they have a wide variety of veg dishes that can be comparable also with meat dishes, like the paneer, the soybeans, the cauliflower, and many more. At least for me, these were my substitutes for meat. Like, to be honest, guys, I had a rough time when I came here to India when it comes to food, because I eat a lot of meat on my place. Like, At least in my house, whenever we have a veg viand, there's always a meat inside of it. Like there's always a shrimp, dried shrimp on it, like that. For example, the chop suey will have a chicken, and then the bihon, the veg bihon, will even though there's already a lot of veg, there's still a shrimp or a chicken, and then the mongo will have a shrimp. That's how we cook in my place. Rarely, I don't know, I can't even think of only vegetable all dish in my place. So it's really hard for me to eat veg dishes only. So that's why I improvised and experimented on dishes on which the food suits on my taste, veg dishes that suits on my taste, and it's also better if it suits on my husband's taste. So but anyway, yes, Indians are mostly vegetarians, but they are not that full-fledged vegetarians because they also eat during occasions. So that's all for today, and thank you for watching this far. And if you want me to cover some of the topics about India, just comment it below. And thank you, and I hope we'll see each other again in the next video. Bye!